Hey guys, so this is going to be my March budget and report card kind of like in the same video. So as you can see, I do have 41 transactions. It's almost like double what I usually get. So yeah, it was a very interesting month to say the least. I did have my budget set up. I did have the salary, supplemental. I did take a trip to Columbus, so I did get reimbursement by my job. Um, After everything was said and done, I did make a profit of $30 because they have like a set amount for food. We don't have to show receipts, and I did spend less than that. So $209.50 is what they gave me. City rewards, I always kind of estimate $25. These funds are just as expected. And then just so you can kind of see what I budgeted. These are basically the same. Groceries, restaurants was about the same. Miscellaneous 20. I did budget 200 for cart maintenance, and that went out the roof like so quickly. So we'll talk about that. And then I had anticipated that I would put $1,486.98 into my debt, which is not going to happen. So let's go ahead and get started let's go all the way to the beginning. Okay, so we first have utilities here. I don't know how they categorize them. That's kind of weird. So $125 for that. Rent was $650, so just as expected. I'm kind of thinking of possibly relocating, maybe finding another job. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the next coming months, but I have to kind of think about that. Income, $1,803, just as expected on the first. And then we start with some of the eating out. Subway, $632 on the third, so that's going to go under restaurants. I did have a car wash at the beginning of the month. Usually I don't like to wash my car, but you know what? Sometimes it's so necessary, especially when you just kind of get like the showers, small showers, and it just dirties your car. So that was $3. I do it myself when I go to the car wash, you know, super inexpensive. So Aldi, $32.57. That's going to go under groceries. I did get a flat tire. I do drive. I take the streets to work. It takes me about 40 minutes, but it beats the freeway because in the freeway, if there's an accident, like that would just add like 30 minutes. I mean, I'm in LA, so anything is over 30 minutes. So I did get a flat tire. That was $15, so that's going to go under cart maintenance. I did make my initial minimum payment. I don't owe anything for my school loan because I overpay so much. But in my mind, this is my minimum payment, so $348. Because we obviously want to pay ahead so that we don't pay as much interest. I did get dog food, $14.36, so that should last me a while. I have a little dog. It's like, she doesn't eat that much, so for pet expenses, that's going to go there. I did go to Target. I think I needed some toiletries for the house, so that's going to be $26.43, so I'm going to go ahead and drag that over. I had sushi for $23.54, which is actually pretty inexpensive considering, you know, what usual the usual places that I go to. So this one was just, I think it was just for lunch. Where is, okay, here we go. Restaurants. Aldi, $37.54. That is for groceries. $76, it's for gas, for my car. I only put gas once, which is very interesting. So I did go on a trip the second week of March. So I only drove to work like twice, I think. So that kind of saved me gas. And then once I got back from the trip, since I went to Columbus and it was like 35 degrees, I got a really bad flu. So I only worked one day last week, which I find very interesting. And then this week is spring break. So technically, I'm not going to be at work for 3 weeks. And to be honest, I miss work. I miss being like super busy, and I work at a school, so I miss seeing the kids. But but it was so bad. Like, I don't know, it's just a mixture of different germs and flying and things like that. So it was a really bad flu. I couldn't go to work. Like, I couldn't even get up. So that was very interesting. So for gas, I only put gas, and I still have like a little bit less than half a tank, but I always like to have my tank full because I only like to put gas twice a month. I don't like to put gas during the week. So we'll see how that goes for next month. Okay, so I did go to the trip from the 14th through the 17th. All my expenses were paid for, and like I said, I had a surplus of $30. So I get like a lump sum for food, and then for my transportation, they do pay the exact amount. So I don't want to add a different category just because I don't like having a lot of categories. As you can see, it's very, very simple. That's how I like it. I like to have simplicity. So I'm just going to put it under miscellaneous. I mean, it's another different expense. So what I just dragged over was $20.36, and that was the Uber from the Columbus airport to my hotel. So that was $20.36. And then from my house to LAX, it was $32.66, which I think is very cheap. When I was in Columbus, I did get like a snack at a liquor store because that was the only place I found a snack at. $4.68. So that's gonna go. I'm gonna put it under groceries. Hudson was like a little shop at the airport for $3.89. I needed a water bottle, so I'm gonna put that under groceries as well. Homeboy, I got a sandwich for breakfast at LAX, so that was $13.07. I'm gonna put that under restaurants. And then when we went to Ohio, there was this restaurant called Boston's, which I find pretty interesting. $22.83. This was really good. So that's going to go under restaurant. So that was our dinner. The next day, I did have Thai for lunch. That was $14.50. And that's also going to go under restaurants. I did have for breakfast, I don't like breakfast, but obviously I had to have breakfast since I was up so early, and with the 3-hour time difference, for me it was like if I was up at 4 in the morning, so that was really hard. So I needed to get something. I just got a bagel, a plain bagel, $4.30. This was at my hotel. Way overpriced. But like I said, I did get reimbursed, so even though it hurt to pay $4.30 for a plain bagel. Okay, so for income, I did get the expected amounts, second part of the month. There we go. So I had dinner at Boston's again since we liked it so much. I'm saying we because I went with other coworkers. $18.24. That's going to go into restaurants. And then for dinner on the 16th, which was a Friday, we went to a steakhouse, which I think is, for the price, as you can see, $19. It was amazing price for what you would get. So that was our dinner. And then I had the same bagel the next day for $4.30 for breakfast. So that goes under restaurants. For lunch that day, I had pho, so that was $9. There we go. And then for a snack, I had ice cream for $4.75. So obviously everything is more expensive when you're on vacation. The 17th, that's when I actually flew back to LA. So let's see which one. I didn't have, yeah, we did. This was breakfast. So Wolfgang Puck, this is the restaurant at the Columbus airport. Excuse me. That was $15.78. This is way too much for breakfast. I don't usually eat breakfast, but my other coworkers, they were like, let's just try it out. So I'm like, you know what? Let's try it out. But yeah, it's way overpriced, overrated, nothing out of the ordinary. So restaurants, $15.78 for breakfast. And then Uber, this one, $17.19, is from the Columbus Hotel to the Columbus Airport. So that's going to go under miscellaneous. And then Uber from LAX to my house was $35.29, which I still think is pretty cheap. I remember other times when I used to fly, I used to take a taxi and it was like $80. So I love Uber, like so inexpensive. Netflix, that came out as expected, $4 for my share. So basically I just transferred over to the account holder. The 17th, so since we were at the airport, we had a layover. We had lunch slash almost like dinner. So 1985 at a Mexican bar. I don't remember the name, but it was like their nachos were like the best. So 1985. And this was in Texas. So that's going to go under restaurants. As you can see, I'm like already way over. Okay, so for cell phone, this is $30, just as expected. Household, when I came back, I did need a couple more items for the house. So that was $32.35. And of course, every time you go to Target, you get a little bit extra. So this one I'm already over. I also went to Fridays to have dinner, and that was $21.34. So that's going to go under restaurants. So now that's part of my regular, monthly budget. Rewards, I did get a little bit extra for rewards since I purchased so much previously for family members. I got $46.74, so I get 2% cash back. I never pay interest because I always pay it in full. So it's almost like using a debit card, but with the added rewards. So I love Citi Rewards credit cards. Albertsons $21.43. I needed groceries, so that obviously that was just a couple days ago. Okay, so let's do the reimbursements. So my job is they actually gave me $290.50. And my actual expenses for traveling was I think it was $260. So it was around, or $259, something like that. So obviously I had a surplus of $30, which is great. So it kind of helps with the other categories. So after all was said and done in terms of income, let's go ahead and fix this amount, was $3,943.72. So, and we end up with the car. Okay, so my tags expire in May. I'm the kind of person that if I get a bill, I kind of think about it until I pay it off. So even though they're not due until May, I just want to get it over with. I always have like a cushion in my checking account, so I never leave it at zero. Even though it's zero base budget, I still have a cushion in my checking account, so I can always feel comfortable, if I were to go over budget or things like that. There's always a cushion there. I can't leave my account at zero. Mentally, I can't do it. So what I decided to do was to just go ahead and take care of it. But my car just turned 10 years this year, and I just hit 60,000 miles. So once it's a 10-year car, so I needed to get a smog check here in California. So that was $50, which I think is very well priced. So obviously I passed. I mean, my car doesn't have that many miles. I have an Infiniti. So I love my car. And I like to maintain it just because, it's a pricey car, so it's worth to make, the investments into something you're going to have for a long time. So that was that. My car tags, they actually went up. So in California, some of the taxes kicked in this year. That increased our tags by a lot. I think last year I paid $120, and then this year I paid $180, even though the value of the car is already way less. So that's the only downfall, but that's going to go under cart maintenance. So $180 for that. And then I decided to go ahead and get my oil changed. A couple months ago, I paid for the 2 oil changes, so that was completely free. But since I hit that 60,000 mark, they did recommend like the transmission flush, whatever. I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do it. It's going to be something that has to be done eventually. I mean, there's obviously people say you don't need it. Some people say you do. I'm like, you know what? If the dealership says that, just to keep it under great condition, let me just go ahead and do it. And then I also did brake fluid cleaning or something. I don't know what it was. So after all was said and done, it's $480.80, which was not budgeted for. But you know what? like I mentioned, we want to keep our cars in really good condition, then I'm going to have to spend the money for it. So let's go ahead and see how bad this is. Okay, so in savings, 7,200, amazing. Future car 700, but like I said, I don't anticipate to get a new car anytime soon. I love my car. I'm like obsessed with it. Okay, so all this is taken care of. Household expenses, I did go over, so that's going to be $58.78. Gas. It helped that I was sick and I didn't go to work for so many days and I was on a trip, so my total spending was $51.23. So technically I already have $50 saved. Wonderful. Insurance is the same. Groceries, wow, okay, I'm under for that. I have everything I need. My fridge is stocked. I have everything. I don't anticipate to buy anything else actually, which is amazing. Okay, restaurants, obviously I was going to be over. $196.82. Yes, that's correct. Miscellaneous, so that's mostly Uber, so that was $105.50. Netflix was this done. I don't want to put this in. Okay. $728.80. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys have like a sinking fund just for your car for these things, but you know what? I have my savings here, and at the end of the day, I get pretty good interest rate on this one because I have a credit union through work. So in my mind, it doesn't make sense for me to be putting money and then be taking it out, be putting money in, be taking it out. Like, I don't like that whole shuffling money around. So if I can just go ahead and pay for things like this out of my own budget for the month, I'm fine with it. You know, I'm pretty good in managing my money, so I'm a saver. I'm not really like a spender. I mean, you don't see me buying clothes, you don't see me buying handbags, shoes, unless I actually need it. So in terms of that, I'm really like diligent with my money. So I don't have a problem just being able to spend. You know, obviously I don't like it, but it's something that has to be done. So, and then for pets, $14.36. Nothing for gifts. So after all is said and done, my budget was off by $563. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. Okay, not bad. You know what? This is already like triple the amount, almost triple the amount of my minimum payment. So even though I had to pay all this for the car, $923. I think I've had other months when I did not have this and I only paid $900 or something. So I'm not upset about that. So that still means I paid 23% towards my debt. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I'll probably send 500 today, and then I'll leave off the rest until probably like the 31st. Once I know that's not there, I'm not going to have any other expenses, I'm just going to go ahead and send the extra amount. But you know what? Overall, I'm really happy with it. I know my car is in great condition, and it should last me way more, like, you know, more years to come. So there we go. That's my budget for March. I hope you guys are having, if you guys have your spring break, enjoy your spring break. I'm just being lazy this whole week, so I don't have any plans, but that's okay. I think I've already had enough. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.